How's it going, everybody? Cameron here as Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. Hope you're all having a great Thursday afternoon. It's a short video here. I just wanted to talk about a few things. The first thing is, I was playing the Genesis last night, and I finally sat down and spent some time with the first three Mortal Kombat games for the Sega Genesis. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. Now, these games have been talked about to death. There's not much more that can be said about them. So I'm going to keep it short. Growing up, child of the 90s, at least for the early 90s, I had a Super NES. It wasn't until the mid to late 90s I had a Genesis briefly, but I didn't have any of the Mortal Kombat games. But anyhow, growing up in the early 90s, I specifically remember the original Mortal Kombat game coming out. All my friends had it for the Genesis. I didn't know anybody else in my neighborhood that had a Super NES at the time. And I never had the original Mortal Kombat, believe it or not. I just never had it. Fast forward, I think it was a year or two later, we had Mortal Kombat 2. Now, this one here, this was a rental for me. I rented this game quite a bit. This was the game I played. I did not play again. I didn't play Mortal Kombat, the original, when I was young. I played Mortal Kombat 2. And I remember obviously not being very good at it, but still having a blast with it. At the time, the graphics were pretty incredible. I know you look at them now and you might sort of shake your head, but this was the style back then. These digitalized characters were used in Mortal Kombat, and they were also used in NBA Jam. So, yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, what else can you say about that game? And then we've got Mortal Kombat 3. I never played that growing up. When that game came out, what was it, 1996? At that point, I had already moved on. I had the Sega Saturn at that point. And, we were moving into the world of 3D gaming. And Mortal Kombat just sort of flew past the wayside. A lot of the other games that came out after Mortal Kombat 3 in the series, to me, it just wasn't the same. It's all about the first original 3. So I sat down last night, and originally I wanted to do a video sort of comparing the Genesis versions of these games to the Super NES, but I think I'll just leave that to somebody else. It's probably more capable than me. But I do specifically remember the SNES. I'm pretty sure the games looked quite a bit better on the Super NES than the Sega Genesis. That being said, the original Mortal Kombat, played a bit of it last night, played it for about 45 minutes. I don't think it quite holds up as well as the other entries into the series. I put on Mortal Kombat 2. That game looks really good on the Genesis. It holds up really well. You could almost get through almost the whole game relying on uppercuts. But it gets tougher as you go along. I should say with the original Mortal Kombat, I got all the way to the endurance challenges, and that's where it sort of petered off for me. It got really difficult. I don't know the combinations and the combos, but Mortal Kombat I find is one of those games where just by playing around with the buttons, you can sort of figure out some of the special moves. So yeah, Mortal Kombat, really getting long in the tooth. The second one holds up quite nicely. The third one, this was sort of, I don't know how to say it. It was an odd experience, to say the least. Going into it sort of blindfolded, I had never really played it before. I really enjoyed it. I think Mortal Kombat 3 has a lot to offer. It's got a lot of characters in it. I think the reason why Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out is because there was a lot of complaints with regards to some of the characters that were omitted when MK3 came out. It is kind of odd seeing Sub-Zero without his mask on. But the game is really good. That being said, Mortal Kombat 3 is tougher than a cheap steak. I would say out of all three of these games, Mortal Kombat 3 is the toughest. Oh my God. Even on easy, it's tough. At least with Mortal Kombat and MK2, you can even if you're not the greatest at these games, you can sort of win a couple of fights. But man, MK3 is brutal. That being said, I had a real good time with it. If I had to say which was my most favorite out of all three, I think I need to spend more time with Mortal Kombat 3. But right now, I'd say Mortal Kombat 2 is probably the best out of the original three. And I think that's universally accepted as probably the best out of all three. Leave in the comments below, what's your favorite out of these 3 games? I would really like to know. My favorite character is probably Sub-Zero. But I do like Baraka as well. So yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this I think played it for about 2 hours last night. So good times, good times, good times. So moving along here, before we finish this video off, I want to talk about 2, I guess you could say, comments of the day, so to speak. I haven't done this in a while on this channel. Afro Gamer Dude sort of piqued my interest to bring this back to the channel here. So the first one here is from Jay Leno's Garage. He did a video talking about his 1999 C5 Corvette. And I'm looking at the comments, and this guy posts here, Shell Bell Sapphire. He puts right in the comments, "This came out when I was a kid. I played many hours of Need for Speed high stakes racing in this car. Out of the vets to come in the last 40 years, this is still my favorite." So I thought that was kind of funny that I'm watching a Jay Leno video, not obviously a video game channel. And I've been playing a lot of Need for Speed high stakes and Hot Pursuit lately on the PC. And just to see this guy in the comment section here, or shall I say a gal, name drop Need for Speed high stakes, I thought that was pretty funny to see that. And the last one here, our good old buddy, Drunken Master Paul. I went over to his channel last night. I like to keep an eye on what he's doing. And he posted a video with, I presume it's his wife. It was called 4321. I'll let you guys check it out for yourself. I'll leave a link to the video in a pinned comment below. And he's basically doing a spoof of the song Coming Home, Major Tom by Peter Schilling. I guess it was his birthday. So I go down to the comments section, and who do we have at the top of the comments? Good old MJR. And he posted a comment here, "Happy birthday, buddy." And nobody responded to his comment. He got 41 likes and nobody responded. So I left him a little bit of a response. Boom shakalaka. So feel free to head on over to Drunken Master Paul's video and leave a comment for good old MJR. If he's blocked you on his channel, fear not. You can still respond to this comment on DMP's channels. So that's going to do it. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.